there was a new update a bit ago, and on top of that, a new DLC that's called The Deserters and Disciples. With another DLC comes a group of new playable classes and monsters. Today, we'll be talking about the Salamander. They are the easiest to get into, and they've also got a high skill ceiling. The best way to get up there? Start playing. Starting with the class, the Paladin. You're equipped with a lot of strong equipment. Your armor has some resistances to bladed weapons with comparable AC to leather gear, but is a wee bit heavier, and at least you got some extra strength to carry that. It'll do for the time being. Later on though, it'll be better to switch to some stat boosting gear I'll list out in due time. We've also got a holy trinket called the Symbol of Sanctuary, which is an offhand item you focus for a couple seconds for some bonus AC. And as you level, it will get more tiers, meaning longer time to focus and stronger amount of AC. It's a pretty niche item. The idea is that you focus it as much as you can, then swap off to a shield so you can be as tanky as possible. The duration is pretty short, so it's really for those one-on-one fights. Nice for things like a troll on the first floor or a random minotaur. Besides that, it's okay. I don't like it all too much, but it does give a thaumaturgy boost, so blessing it is worth it. Speaking of thaumaturgy, we also get a spell, Divine Zeal. It's good. No matter where you are in the game, let that be the mines, haunted mansion, hell, or even a boss fight, it's free damage. It's a spell you sustain, meaning you activate the spell and you'll drain mana over time. It is bonus damage on undead and unholy enemies. So whenever you get into a new floor, pop it and go ham on everything so you can level thaumaturgy and make the spell stronger over time. Okay, now we can get into the big kahuna of the Paladin, your sword, the Claymore. It brands a big blade that crits horizontally, and it automatically swings when a crit is possible. This thing is awesome. It's good damage the entire time. Just a little tricky at the start to get used to with that auto swing. The Claymore is also one of the few melee weapons that can parry. To parry, you have to be holding an attack and block at the same time. It pretty much acts like a stronger block. As for the boring numbers, blocking normally increases your armor based on the blocking skill. Parry increases your armor based off of your sword skill, plus the weapon's damage. It's definitely a strong thing to master, but I personally will not be using it. It's really awkward to juggle, and I prefer just using a normal shield to block. Just maybe for those really dangerous moments like a troll early game or a crystal golem when I'm weak late game. Paladin is a very strong class overall, but when you combine it with the Salamander, you truly become a holy force to be reckoned with. Playable monsters are all about weird gimmicks, changing up the normal gameplay loop. The Salamander's mana is replaced with the term fervor. Most monsters start with a few spells or items to help play into their gimmicks. Salamander starts with a unique spell only they get. Breathe Fire. It is the butter to Fervor's bread, but more on that spell in a second. Fervor and Fire Breath are the key factors for the other Salamander's gimmick, changing forms. When you reach below 25% of your max amount of fervor, you enter Stone Form. Stone Form gives you bonus strength and constitution based on your charisma stat at the cost of losing dexterity based on your charisma, meaning you'll be super slow. Another cool thing is when you enter this form, you get the Stoneheart buff for a couple seconds, making you impervious to anything physical. This means you don't take any damage from melee attacks, no matter how much damage they would deal normally. Say you're floor 1 and a Minotaur spawns. You could just be invincible to its attacks for a couple seconds. Right after No Minds, it is definitely possible to eliminate any Minotaurs that spawn. When that Stone Heart effect wears off, you should still be fine with the Constitution boost, a shield, and a bit more with that Symbol of Sanctuary buff, if you're playing Paladin. And if you like cheese, you can find that sweet spot using enough fervor to enter the Stone Threshold. Get some fervor back and enter that threshold again. You can be invulnerable for as long as you can make it happen. Just be warned that magic and ranged attacks can still hurt you in this state. Now, if you're over 75% of your maximum fervor and then breathe fire, you will enter the Radiant form. Think of this as your supersonic form. You gain flight and a cool glowing look. As for stat stuff, your constitution is decreased based on your stamina, but your spell power is increased based on your charisma. Oh yeah, Breathe Fire is buffed up and spells are free. Just know that in this state, your fervor will slowly tick down over time, just like rings for supersonic form. But wait a minute, you ask. My fervor isn't regenerating to over half. How am I to become radiant? breathe fire. If you don't breathe fire as Salamander, you will never master this beast. No matter what's your preferred playstyle, breathe fire is just that good. Hitting enemies with the projectiles give you fervor back, and hitting enemies while they have the Holy Flames debuff active grants you more fervor returns. This is your fervor regen, and if that wasn't enough, the Holy Flames make your attack deal bonus damage on enemies on top of decreasing their resistances based on your charisma. So it's practically a divine zeal and a better arcane mark. But I'm not done yet. It even increases your maximum fervor when you kill enemies with the Holy Flames effect still active. You get so many ways to make this spell better too. You can go into those resistances through charisma, you can make the fire stronger through constitution or the thaumaturgy skill, which will be easy to level if you're consistently using the spell at every chance. Some more cool things about the spell: it slides off walls, making it possible to hit enemies around corners, and it pierces enemies. So if you have a group of gnome thieves on you, say goodbye to that pack as you take a flamethrower and just hose them down. Use this spell. You will not regret it. Items! There's always going to be useful stuff no matter what class you're playing. Things like life-saving amulet, something that reflects magic or grants levitation. But what's specifically for you? The Salamander. Something charisma. I've mentioned the stats so many times, there's no way I could say that it's not important here. It makes the forms more beneficial, it makes the fire breath stronger. It's the stat to min-max here. The few things you'll be finding for that would be a headpiece, a ring, and a face piece. For the head, it's either a jester hat if you like armor, either randomly find or get a good blessed one from the Potato King, or a silken bow if you like cool confusion effects. Good luck finding this one, it's pretty uncommon for me. As for the ring, ring of adornment. That's it. You can get these really easy. You find them all over the place. You're practically tripping all over them. You can find a couple that are +2, and that's pretty much as best as you could get on the ring, because like you can't really bless it unless you're drinking from those fountains all the time. And the face piece will be a rose or a mask. Both do the same stuff, so whichever one you find first and whichever one's blessed. You can find these from killing succubus or from a random shop. That's all you can find for charisma, but you can find one more beneficial thing: a monk or healer robe. All it does is increase your casting speed for thaumaturgy spells. Spells like breathe fire, and if you bless it, you can get up to 50% faster casting speed. Very, very nice. If there was any close second stats that you can find that isn't charisma, it's constitution. If you aren't reliant over the forms or even the strength of breathing fire, the constitution will be fine. At least you get the added bonus of thaumaturgy spell strength, so you still get something more. But that's just the gear side of it. There's another way to min-max these stats: other classes. Although Paladin does work for keeping your AC up when you become Radiant, we can go crazy either way. Here's a few classes I found fun to mess with. If you like simple, don't care about the forms, and you don't want to rely on your spells too much, Warrior. His stats weigh heavy into the ones we like to see. Plenty of constitution, charisma, and some good strength on the side. This makes for a really simple run, with the only sad part being appraisal speed being shit. For these kinds of runs, I like to turn off hunger, just so I can clean the floor of enemies and take my sweet time to appraise my items. Maybe something I've found will take 8 minutes to appraise and it is incredibly busted in their other game. As for the combat side of the run, you're very flexible. Whether you don't care about spells or want to dip your toes in them, if you breathe some fire, at least you have the stats to gain from it. As for your weapon of choice here, you got a bunch as well. A little bit of unarmed, some swords in range, plenty of pole arms, and if you min-max out skill, you can easily swap over to another. Plus, you can just blow through those resistances with that useful fire breath. Merchant, a little less physical strength, but we can build that up slowly. You still need to build up those spell skills, but you'll be fine. What's really nice about this run is the amount of levels you start with on trading. And if you're finding some stores early, you can easily level to max before swamps. Really crazy. Those prices will be very nice, and it will be a lot easier to find some really good items like levitation or just some extra good equipment. Considering your forms will be made stronger this run, stone form will be nice to fall back onto. That also means you should be very cautious in this form because of that massive constitution cost. It really does hurt. Healer is an odd run. It's the opposite of the other two. You get a lot of thaumaturgy to work with, but you barely level the stats we like. And that's where the gear stuff comes in. This is a fire breath run. Your built-in thaumaturgy strength and will be leveling constitution every now and again. So spit that flame on every enemy you can and up that fervor as much as possible. The other one really is an awkward balance between using your fire breath and then swapping over to other spells, things to heal, cure your ailments, or just random thaumaturgy spells that are honestly all pretty good. Mesmer is a DLC class, and to play another monster's class, you have to beat the game as that monster first. This one is tied to the succubus from the Myths and Outcast DLC. I won't go too deep into the class as I will delve further in the succubus video, but it plays like a mixture of the previous runs for Salamander. Lots of charisma, so good for forms and destroying resistances, but we're also relying on magic and allies. Physically, you are weak for the entire run. Strength, dexterity, and constitution will all be in the negatives for a long while in this run, so we have to rely on those forms for those stats. Now, the major part of Mesmer is that you aren't exactly the one fighting your enemies. You're able to charm one enemy that can help tank for you. So find the tankiest enemies you can find and make sure they are nearby at all times, just in case any combat comes your way. This new update gave Mesmer a new spell called Compel. It lets you command one enemy, and one of those commands is just another spell you can find called Disarm, which makes the enemy drop their weapon. And it's pretty handy in the no minds. Mesmer is pretty difficult if you don't prepare yourself, but I believe in you. Now that you've got a fun class combo, let's go become that Baron.
Another mortal at my doorstep. What do you hope to accomplish out here, mortal?
This is all wrong. We created this place for immortals.
Small minds always have small ambitions.
Perks couldn't handle the power he found. We tried to warn him.
His death was inevitable. Excuse me, what's the actual code?
Away from Michigan if you never done this before.
Big mistake, Breton. Time to suffer.
And that's it. You learned the strength behind the Salamander. But there's more monsters to learn, each with unique powers between them all. Power, you know, will always be waiting.